All right, happy Tuesday. Time for another one. Let's see. Oh, sorry about this, folks. All right, last one is Apollonesis, number 8. This is number 9, Sextus. Kindness. An example of fatherly authority in the home. What it means to live as nature requires. Gravity without airs. To show intuitive sympathy for friends, tolerance to amateurs, and to sloppy thinkers. His ability to get along with everyone, sharing his company, was the highest of compliments, and the opportunity and honor for those around him. To investigate and analyze, with understanding and logic, the principles we ought to live by. Not to display anger or other emotions, to be free of passion and yet full of love. To praise without bombast, to display expertise without pretension. End quote. So what has Marcus Aurelius learned from and or is indebted to Sextus over his lifetime? So kindness, it sounds like he really respected his kindness to others. An example of fatherly authority in the home. There's no real examples, it looks like, but maybe the whole rest of this is one. What it means to live as nature requires. Now that seems like it could be very subjective. To live as nature requires. I don't know what that really means. Maybe just being a really good father, or just really nailing the point home. Live maybe as nature requires. Maybe living simply, just simple pleasures or simple items, like just what he needs to kind of get along and be content. That might be it. As nature requires. I'm gonna leave it there. I don't want these things to become huge, long ones. If you have any thoughts, put it down in the comments. Gravity without airs. I'm just thinking like a heaviness, not physically like his weight, but like emotionally, or having like a depth or without. My mind goes to thoughts for some reason, like in-depth, heavy, well thought out thoughts without airy, floaty, kind of either abstract ones or things that aren't really grounded in reality. But yeah, I don't really know at all what he means there. You, again, with all these, put it in the comments, please. To show intuitive sympathy for friends, tolerance to amateurs, and sloppy thinkers. Well, who here knows a sloppy thinker? I think we've all met one or two of those. And amateurs, and hopefully we've all met a few friends. Yeah, certainly it's definitely a lot easier to have sympathy for friends. I guess I could see some situations where it's not as easy, but sympathy, like tolerance to amateurs. I think really what he's getting at here is treating, if someone's a sloppy thinker, an amateur, treating them the same as you would a friend, maybe giving them the benefit of the doubt, being more patient with them. Not immediately casting their opinion or behaviors aside, just because you don't know the person, and especially though if they're a friend, going that extra mile, but then on the kind of flywheel, not treating anybody else as you wouldn't a friend. His ability to get along with everyone. Sharing his company was the highest of compliments and the opportunity and honor for those around him. I mean, I think like I've known a few people like this. They're just so hospitable. Hospitable, not hostile. Um, yeah, I think that's the word, hospitable. I don't, yeah, I don't want to mean like they're great hosts. Very easygoing people. Can talk on a variety of topics with people from all sorts of backgrounds. Uh, yeah, it doesn't really sound almost like it. This phrase is almost different. It's not really like what he learned from this gentleman Sextus, but rather just he's talking really highly about him. Um, I mean, who wouldn't want this description of them at their funeral? I think this is just my personal thoughts here. This would be absolutely excellent to have somebody think this about me, and I hope that I think it's something good though for not only myself but for other people to strive towards. You know, where lots of people want to be around you and they enjoy your company and they leave that feeling better, or feeling like, wow, that was a really great opportunity. I'd love to do that again and come visit again, or love to have that person over for dinner or for company again. That seems like a great thing to live up to. To investigate and analyze with understanding and logic the principles we ought to live by. So this sounds like being curious. Yeah, being curious, gathering context about just what it means to be a good person or live a good life. But this one sounds like it's more so in the context of. It sounds like it's more so in the context of society in general, and like how to be a good person within society, but that can very easily and very quickly spill over into just being a good individual to yourself as well. But just the way it's phrased gives me like the sense that he means just how to get along with other people, and like just with what's been said about him before, it sounds like he was an extremely sociable person, loved being around other people, having conversations with other people about just whatever the talk of the town was of the day, or yeah, so I think I could definitely commend somebody that did this though, like not just, and whether you want to take it more so in a sense where it's your the principles we ought to live by, and maybe that's where I'm getting cut, like the we, like it implies not just the one person, so it kind of implies a social element there. But yeah, anyway, not to get all tongue tied up in it. I think this would be great, not just being a good person and holding the door open for the person behind you, because it's it's good and it's friendly and it's kind, but why do you care to be seen as good? Why is holding the door open a good gesture versus not? Because at the end of the day, it's really not that big of a deal. It's a door takes a second or two to open. You could argue holding it open is inefficient for the air conditioning or the heat. I wouldn't go that far most of the time, but like there are negatives to it. But what's it show about yourself? And is it true? Like, are you doing it to be good or to appear good? And a little bit of both. There's lots of it just questioning why, like these things, like it can bring your mind a lot of places, and that's quite fun. And so it sounds like this guy was really curious about these types of things, and to remain curious. And that doesn't mean I have to have an answer. It doesn't mean a person has to have an answer, whether exactly why they do a behavior that's good, or the principles we ought to live by. You don't ever have to have an answer, but to pursue it and to have fun with it and enjoy the process. To not display anger or other emotions. Yeah, so as we've said before in Stoicism, or with Stoicism, it's a really fundamental belief of it, or not, if not the fundamental belief, where the logos and logic supersedes actions and behaviors, and based on like emotions or societal contracts. And so that sounds like this person was also a proponent of this, not using anger. Maybe they were quite frustrated at times and they let other people know that. I don't know, that's not written here, but not letting anger consume him, it sounds, and then doing something or saying something out of spite or extreme anger. So I can get behind that statement. To be free of passion and yet full of love. This is odd to me. I mean, this one could be something where the passion means something else, like lust, or almost like greed, or like longing. It could be, so that's kind of where my mind's going. But free of passion and yet full of love. Yeah, because I mean, like, to be passionate about something, I think that's more than appropriate. And being full of love, love and passion are the spice of life, and the things that allow us to feel this way, or help us feel these ways, are some of the best experiences we can have. And we use money and technology and other people, well, maybe not using other people, perhaps, boring their time, maybe, rather, sharing time, but humans, we pretty much use all of our resources to obtain things that we're passionate about or that we love and really enjoy. So maybe I'm just not thinking deeply enough on it, but to be free of all passion, or to be free of passion and yet full of love. It might be somewhat similar to not doing things necessarily passionately, and like in the sense of emotionally. Like, I might really love eating ice cream, or hanging out with somebody, but I wouldn't let it consume me and drive it, that desire and that passion. I mean, I don't love ice cream, but like, I love to hang out with friends and my loved ones, which are my friends too. To be free. Yeah, we'll leave it there. This video is getting long enough. And then the last sentence: to praise without bombast, to display expertise without pretension. So this really sounds like this. He was a humble person. He wasn't. Here, I'm jumping the gun here, though. To praise without bombast. So, not if someone did something grand or made a great achievement or a great goal, they didn't shout it from the rooftops obscenely and make a huge spectacle of it. And in this like a bombast, though, like in the sense where like it would have just been over the top, maybe disturbing to other people who didn't know this other person, like even if those neighbors or whatever were certainly, oh, that's great that person did so and so thing, that's great, but they didn't want to hear the party till the sun came up the next day, like something along those lines. Or this guy seeing his friend that just, back in Rome, maybe he just became a senator or something. I guess we still have those today, though, too. But, barging through a whole sidewalk of people to give his friend a hug and, disturbing all those other people. I think that's what he's kind of getting at. He wouldn't do that. So maybe like a more of a subtle, handshake or firm good hug and dinner's on me tonight, old friend, type of thing. And then to display expertise without pretension. So yeah, this is where I was getting at before, though, but just sounds like he was a humble person. Not being cocky or kind of throwing mud at other people who might not know as much about a particular topic as him. That sounds like the lessons that Marcus Aurelius took away from Sextus. If you have any thoughts, put them down in the comments below, please. I've made a few of these videos now, and as the audience grows, it'd be really cool. See who's watching these things. Get a comment down there. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday.